Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, welcome to the LCS Hockey Radio Show. This is our first broadcast, and I think we have a very special guest for you today. Long-time readers of LCS Hockey will, of course, remember Jerry Fairish. Jerry, are you there, buddy?
I am here.
Jerry, what up?
Hey, Mike Tarico.
So, why don't you refresh people's memories? Like, well, how did you get started with LCS exactly?
How did I get started with LCS? Oh, man, it's quite a long story, I got to admit.
Didn't you win an essay contest?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I always thought of you as like the fifth Beatle, the fifth member of LCS.
Okay.
Of course, the founding fathers were myself, Michael Dell, the host of the LCS Hockey Radio Show, and then you had Zippy the Wonder Chimp, Jim Ivino, and Matthew Sikorsky, and then I think you were like the fifth Beatle.
Nice.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I guess when you guys blow up, I'll be, sent off into obscurity and OD.
Yeah, and it's only been 13 years, so I'm sure any day now.
Yeah, I mean, you're due.
That success is just right around the corner.
You are due.
What kind of stuff? I seem to recall you used to write the Pittsburgh Penguins report every once in a while back in the day.
I certainly did.
And I started writing that column, and then I think, because we used to have team reports in each issue, and then I think you took over for me when I quit doing it, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's how that worked. And I mean, obviously, I couldn't carry it on the way you did, but
well, who could?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to follow such greatness.
And then you used to be our entertainment correspondent, I believe, right? You used to comment on TV shows and movies and music.
Yes, basically, I had a template of, the story I wrote, and I would just take hockey players' names out and put, Tom Arnold, Roseanne Barr, and, it's interchangeable. It's a very nice system. It's easy, very easy.
And of course, you had your most famous article of all time was probably when you ranked the best breakfast cereals.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that is, that's good stuff right there. I eat a lot of cereal, and I got to let the people know what they should be buying out there.
Do you remember what the top cereals were, like the top 2 or 3?
I think, I think I had Lucky Charms up there. I mean, that's a staple. And, Fruity Pebbles, I think, was up there as well. That's another classic.
What about Captain Crunch? Was that up there?
Yeah, Crunch Berries. The Crunch Berries, definitely the Crunch Berries. The peanut butter's good, the regular's good, but nothing's better than the Crunch Berries.
I never understood the appeal of Lucky Charms. It just seems like too many marshmallows, and then the cereal bits were more like cat food to me. I never understood. So it wasn't very appealing to me. But
what happened is like later on, after, maybe just like 10, 15 years ago, they took the actual kibbly part of the cereal, and like they coated that with marshmallow as well. So now it's like marshmallowy cat food with the marshmallows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Creating a whole new generation of diabetics.
That's nice. Exactly.
Great. So today we're going to talk about, I think, the ESPN tournament we have going on LCS right now.
Right. I had an opportunity to look at it, and we got some things to talk about. There's no doubt about it.
Well, this was started because of ESPN is running a tournament right now on SportsCenter called Who's Now, where I think the great Stuart Scott is trying to determine which athletes are hip and happening.
Right.
And what they do is they get viewers to call in and vote for who they think is hip and happening, and then they have a panel of 3 judges. Do you know who the judges are?
I think I saw, wasn't it like Daryl Strawberry, my mom, and, maybe Tom Arnold again.
Wow, that is quite the panel of judges. I didn't even know your mom and Daryl were hanging out again.
Yeah.
See, they've reconciled. So they have the judges, and I think the judges' vote counts for 30% of the total, and fan voting counts for 70%.
I see.
And I actually considered voting in this tournament when I saw that Sidney Crosby was involved, and he went up against, I believe, your boyfriend, Derek Jeter, in his round, right? You love the Derek Jeter.
I love Derek Jeter, but we're just acquaintances. We have no relationship.
Right. Do you think Derek Jeter is more now than Sidney Crosby?
See, what's funny about that is that's the only pairing I saw actually on TV. I saw the whole discussion about Crosby and Jeter, and it's such a tough call. I mean, if you're going to look at it, who's now between Jeter and Crosby? Right now, you got to give it to Jeter.
How? Well, Crosby is 19-year-old. 19
right.
years old. That's now, you know.
Right.
What's Jeter, like 34, 35?
Yeah, I think he's
40?
30. No, I don't think he's.
That's not now. That's 10 years ago. And Crosby's the best player in his sport. Granted, it's the NHL, but it's still sport, in most countries. And I think he's who's now. But the only thing more disturbing than that, the fact that Jeter won, is the fact I'm talking about it. ESPN is really just a hack of a sports channel and just nothing but corporate shills. And so just to make fun of them, we started the what exactly did I call it again? Do you remember? Who's now going to get beaten with a shovel tournament?
Yes, that's what it is.
That's 32 ESPN personalities, and we use that term loosely. And we decide which one we'd really like to see get beaten with a shovel.
That sounds good.
Do you have any favorites that you? Well, let's look at the brackets, maybe.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Leading off, we have the Steve Levy bracket, and that's named because I named all the brackets after ESPN personalities that I can actually stomach and who are hockey fans.
Right.
So Steve Levy is a definite hockey fan, so he's the host of NHL Tonight and stuff like that, I believe, back in the day. And he looks like little Marv Albert, like Marv Albert's little brother. So
Definitely.
I like to keep him around. So the first bracket, we got Chris Berman is the number 1 seed versus Bonnie Bernstein. I don't know. For some reason, I always thought Bonnie Bernstein was Charlie Steiner's daughter. I'm not sure why.
Is it the beard?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. And I don't know. I was always under the impression that they were somehow related, but I don't think they are.
Yeah.
That might hurt her. That might hurt her in the standings. But Berman's going to be putting the moves on her at some point, because he's a ladies' man.
Yeah.
You've heard, of course, the famous story about him picking up that girl at the bar saying, "You're with me, Leather," and you've heard that whole story?
No, actually, I haven't.
Yeah, it's quite famous. He was at a bar somewhere, I think in Arizona, maybe, I don't know, and this guy was hitting on this girl all night, and he was not having a lot of success. And here, towards the end of the night, Berman just walked by and then this girl was wearing leather a skirt or something, and Berman just walked by, stopped, looked at her, and said, "You're with me, Leather," and the girl got up and left the place with Chris Berman.
Yikes.
Yeah, so that's legendary.
Wow.
So I think he's going to handle Bonnie Bernstein in the first round pretty easily.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely.
But is there a more annoying person on television than Chris Berman?
Well, yes, there is. I mean, yeah, there are. But Berman's a legend, though, in a sense. You know what I mean?
At buffet tables, or
just he set the precedent way back in the day. He was the first one to actually not just give you 5-4 Cardinals. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of funniness, and you got to respect him in a way.
Okay. But you have to respect the fact that he still does nicknames and the same jokes year after year.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
What's your favorite Chris Berman nickname? How about for Chris Berman? Because mine is always Chris Rats, Mice, and Other Berman. I think that's the best nickname.
That's definitely a good one. Yeah, that's definitely Berman-esque, too. He'd be proud of that.
Yeah.
I just like to call him Tubby. That's my favorite nickname for him, Tubby. It's solid. It's just a good one-word name. I like it.
All right, well, that's a beauty. All right, now we got Skip Bayless as the number 2 seed versus Neil Everett. And you didn't even know who Skip Bayless was when you looked at the bracket, and I find that hard to believe.
Right. I'll be honest with you. I don't know who Skip Bayless is. I'll be totally frank with you. Yeah,
usually, he's always on Cold Pizza in the mornings, and what else was he famous for? It was actually Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. They used to do a thing on SportsCenter called New School, Old School, and I think Skip Bayless was the old school, and Stephen A. Smith was new school. They used to go. That's where they each gained their popularity. They would like argue back and forth, and then that led to Skip being put on Cold Pizza in the morning, where he partnered with Woody Page.
Wow.
Yes, that was brilliant television.
Sounds like a ratings juggernaut.
Nothing like seeing two 60-year-old white guys talk about sports. I love it. And then Neil Everett, I got to admit, I don't even know who Neil Everett is. And I made the brackets. I just think Neil Everett, he kind of like embodies all the nameless, faceless, talentless ESPN personalities.
Okay, yeah, I can.
All kind of just. I'm guessing he has glasses and and catchphrases of some sort, but I don't know who he is.
He probably has short hair of some sort as well, maybe a buzz cut.
And I want to guess he's white.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then we're going to go Woody Page versus Scott Van Pelt. Woody Page is the 3 seed. Now, you know Woody Page from Around the Horn.
Of course.
Yeah, and apparently he's just getting sued for sexual harassment. So.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
You can't. That's priceless there. And Scott Van Pelt, he's the. Do you know him?
Yeah, he's like the Neil Everett of Scott Van Pelt.
Exactly. He does a lot of really lame catchphrases and imitations of Stephen A. Smith and other notable sports. He imitates other lame people, yet he still is lame himself. And that's
wow. That's cutting edge. Nobody's doing a Stephen A. Smith imitation.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone's doing them nowadays because you just say however. And, yeah, usually that's great television. Then we got Joe Theismann versus Sean Salisbury. This is a great matchup. Yeah.
This is the matchup of the first round, no doubt. Yeah, definitely of the first round matchups, this was the toughest.
Theismann. Now, he was born Joe Theismann, correct? And he wanted to win the Heisman Trophy. He changed his name to Theismann.
Yes.
So that's the kind of dedication we like to see in corporate shills. They're willing to change their entire name and identity to cash in, and that's great stuff. Sean Salisbury, not only does he make a great TV dinner, but he also used to back up. Who were some of the quarterbacks he backed up? Do you remember?
Cliff Stout.
Yes. And, but he was in Minnesota, and I think he backed up Rich Gannon in Minnesota with the Vikings.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Who else did he used to play for?
I think he played for everybody a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was in the Canadian Football League. Because, the exchange rate, you only have to be 30% as good. And, of course, he hangs out with John Clayton a lot. So,
and he's also Adam Sandler's quarterback coach on The Longest Yard remake.
Oh, wow. See, I did not know that. Yeah.
Sandler was like textbook in that movie. So, it just shows you what kind of skills Sean has.
Oh, certainly. I didn't even, The Longest Yard remake. Did you see that movie?
Yeah. Yeah. It's brutal. It's terrible. It's awful. It's nothing like the original. It sucks.
All right. I think that's all we need to say about that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, moving on, we got the Al Morganty bracket. Now, everyone loves Al Morganty, right? You love Al.
Yeah, you can't not love Al Morganty.
He was our hockey reporting inspiration back in the day. I even interviewed him once, and that was a tremendous career highlight for me. And
was it on some sort of blog, web radio thing?
Yes, no, it was just through email. It was great, and because, I don't like to talk to people. But, Al, you can actually, remember I wrote this a couple weeks ago on LCS, but there's actually an auction on NHL.com right now where you can bid to win a chance to play tennis with Al Morganty.
I saw that.
Did you? I saw someone right now is bidding $200 at the last time.
Really?
Yes. And here's the interesting part about that. The reserve is not yet met on the auction.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think Al and the organizers were shooting for when they said, hey, I'll play tennis with somebody?
I hope
$500, $600.
I hope no more than $201.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so Al Morganty. In the Al Morganty bracket, the number 1 seed is Dick Vitale. And he's going up against Linda Cohn. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I like Dickie V. I'm a big fan of Dickie V.
Would you say you're a PT player? Or what does he always say?
Yeah, PC player.
Yeah,
prime player.
Yeah, he's Dick Vitale. He's great, and he sure can sell the Hooters. You know, he hangs out at the Hooters.
Oh yeah.
What other commercials does he do? Like Papa John's, or am I just making that up? I don't.
No, I think yeah, I think it is Papa John's. Yeah.
I don't know. All right, then we got Linda Cohn, who she's a hockey fan, so she might get a pass.
No pass here, baby.
You don't like the Linda Cohn?
No, not at all. I remember back in the day when I was actually running for LCS, it just used to annoy me that she always called Robert Lang Robert Long. I just always hated her for it. To this day, I hate her. Yeah.
She's a Ranger. She's a Rangers fan. So.
Oh, there you go.
Take that for what it's worth.
Exactly.
Number 2 seed is Tony Kornheiser, and he's going up against Jay Mariotti. Now, a lot of people may not realize the background of this matchup, but Tony Kornheiser lost his radio show in Chicago, I believe. They took him off the air, and they replaced him with Jay Mariotti. So there's a blood feud there.
See, I was unaware of that myself.
Yeah, so, hey, the organizers of this tournament, they know what they're doing, you know? They don't just pick names out of a hat. Those guys are smart, and they know what they're doing when they paired Kornheiser and Mariotti. Now, Mariotti has to be the most detestable person on ESPN, don't you? Wouldn't you agree? Or just like
yeah, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan at all.
And Kornheiser, I actually like Kornheiser somewhat, you know? So this is, I think I have a feeling he's going to be safe into the second round. I don't know.
I can see that.
Then we got Mike Greenberg versus Kirk Herbstreit. Now, I've heard that you have some strong feelings about Kirk Herbstreit.
I do not like Kirk Herbstreit at all. He is college football's Chris Collinsworth. I just can't stand the guy. He's just there's an arrogance about him. He thinks he's better than you, and I don't.
He's not better than me.
I think he thinks it.
He's a bit of a fancy lad, I'd say.
Yeah, he's definitely a fancy lad, as is Greenberg, but I can never rip on Greeny, though. I mean, I love that guy.
You like Mike Greenberg?
I love Greenberg.
Oh, I find that hard to believe. Well, why do you like Mike Greenberg so much?
I like him. He's funny, and him and Golick together, I mean, that's a great show. I love them two guys together. I could never trash on Greeny and Golick.
Bold statement. So you don't think they're corporate shills? They do arena football.
Well, you know.
They try and sell it like it's an important thing. They're doing arena football.
Well, it's not quite a web blog talk radio show, but I mean, it is something, I guess.
But I'm just amazed in the Who's Now tournament there wasn't like the quarterback from the Toledo Barn Burners or whatever. I don't even know an arena football team name, but I'm surprised they didn't pack it full with arena football stars.
Oh, I hear you. There is a rush and a crush, but other than that, I don't know any more arena football, I swear to you.
Who did Kurt Warner play for? The Iowa Barnstormers, right? Is that what I was thinking?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Sounds great.
Okay, anyway. We got Bill Walton and Trey Wingo rounding out the Morganty Bracket. Bill Walton, he's entertaining. Trey Wingo, I don't even know if that's a real person. I think he's more a Muppet from the Jim Henson people.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Trey Wingo version of Scott Van Pelt version of Neil Everett.
But the cool thing about Trey Wingo is he does look a lot like Alf. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
Put Alf next to Trey Wingo, and a lot of cats get scared. That's all I'm saying. All right, now we got the Barry Melrose bracket, and I think everyone loves Melrose. Of course, my favorite Barry Melrose story is when I went to the draft in Hartford in 1994. Barry was coaching the LA Kings, and outside on the street, I saw him purchasing a hot dog from a street vendor, and it's something I'll never forget.
That's it? That's the story?
Yeah, that's it.
No, hey, Melrose.
Right. I just saw him buying a hot dog, and
just watched him buy a hot dog.
Yeah, I'm hoping to sell the movie rights someday. So the number 1 seed is Dan Patrick going up against Jeremy Schaap.
Yikes.
Jeremy. One reader today actually voted in, sent me his votes, and he said, Jeremy Schaap, who? So people know who Jeremy Schaap is, though, right?
Yeah, just because of his dad.
Yeah, remember Bobby Knight almost choked him that one time? That was great.
Well, Bobby Knight choking anybody's great.
He had to interview he had to interview Bobby Knight, and it was right after Knight got in trouble for pushing somebody, I guess Jeremy was asking him tough questions. So Bobby stopped the interview kind of, and he pointed at him and he glared and he said, you got a long way to go before you're as good as your father. And Jeremy just took it like a little girl. He should have wouldn't you have punched him if he said that to you?
I hate my dad.
No, okay, well, never mind. All right, moving on.
Okay.
Number 2 is Mel Kyber Jr. versus Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
Now, I got to admit, I've never listened to Colin Cowherd. I've heard maybe 5 minutes total, and I really want to beat him with a shovel.
Yeah,
that's just how annoying that guy is. And here's something I saw though on the website, on the ESPN website. They have a video clip of I guess this Cowherd character made a bet with his producer or somebody, I don't know, and they were going to have a 50-yard dash. And he took maybe 3 steps and pulled a hamstring. It was pure athleticism.
Wow. Yeah.
I love it. The one thing you want to see in your sports broadcasters are they can't run 10 feet. I love it.
Yeah, well, Clint Barmy's going on the DL for carrying some venison down the stairs.
Well, I think we all know he got drunk and fell off an ATV. Wasn't that who Todd Helton's house? Wasn't that what happened? They got.
Yeah, I think that's what happened, but that's not the story they were spinning at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Kent, blowing out his wrist washing his car. That's always my favorite. All right, so Colin Cowherd versus Mel Kyber Jr. Kyber, as big of a clown as he is, you got to respect him. I mean, he took absolutely worthless information and being a geek, turned it into $1 million enterprise.
That is genius.
Yeah, I'm not going to make fun of Mel Kyber. So
well, let me ask you this: Kyber versus Melrose in a hair-off. Who wins?
I want to say Melrose because he's got all kinds of looks. Sometimes he cuts it.
That's true.
But then he'll bring back the mullet and let it roll, and I think the mullet trumps Kyper's helmet thing he's got going on.
All right.
Kyber just has that one look, that plastic fake look.
Yes.
So I want to go Melrose. He's a mullet for all seasons. He can do whatever he needs to do.
All right, sounds good.
All right, then we go Jim Rome, number 3 versus Jay Crawford. Jim Rome, see, he's the biggest jerk. I don't know. He's just pompous and arrogant, and he's a clown. He's 40 years old, and he's trying to be hip, using all kinds of street lingo and jargon,
Yeah.
That's really annoying. But at the same time, he's the only show on ESPN that gives hockey any attention at all. He'll actually have hockey players on his show. And I think he is a hockey fan, so I don't know. That's tough. And Jay Crawford, he's just a tool, really, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just found out he's also under sexual harassment allegations, some cold pizza makeup artist or something.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing with Woody Page. They were double teaming her, so to speak, if you forgive that use of that phrase. But yeah, so I don't know.
Really hot.
Yeah. So Jay Crawford and Jim Rome. Hopefully Jim Everett will make an appearance at some point in the standings.
That'd be nice. I always like to see the guests lunge at the hosts.
Yes.
Kind of like this show.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if we can antagonize some guests and get them to take a swing at me at some point. And then Barry Melrose, the last Barry Melrose bracket we have is Stephen A. Smith versus Susie Colbert. Now, I don't know if Joe Namath has ever tried to kiss Stephen A. Smith. So
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's had to. He's had enough beers.
I could give Colbert the edge in this one, but I don't know. I think Stephen A., he's primed for a long, healthy run in the tournament. I can't imagine there's a sports fan out there who wouldn't want to hit him with a shovel. So.
Really? So yeah, once again, I find him entertaining. He's like the T.O. of sports commentators.
Really?
That's how I view him. I think he's funny. I don't know.
I find that hard to believe.
I definitely like him.
Okay, well, moving on. We got the John Buccigross bracket. Now, Buccigross, he's a Pittsburgh fellow. He likes, he's a hockey fan, and he grew up around Pittsburgh, I believe, correct?
Yeah, he is from Pittsburgh. He's usually on the Mark Madden show quite a bit.
Yeah, so you got to like Buccigross. His hair sometimes frightens me. I don't know what he's got going on there. And he makes a lot of obscure references to lame musical acts. But still a hockey fan, so we've got to give him credit for that. The number 1 seed in the John Bucci bracket, and probably my favorite, maybe, to win the tournament, is Stuart Scott, and he's taking on Tony Reale, the host of Around the Horn. Any thoughts on this particular matchup?
You know, I had to, once again, he's like Skip Bayless and Neil Everett. I had to go look up this Tony Reale guy. So that just about shows where he's at on my map here.
He started out on the Pardon the Interruption. He was stat boy on Pardon the Interruption. I think he still holds that position, and he just he doubles as the host of Around the Horn. He took over for the great Max Kellerman when Max Kellerman.
Oh yeah, he's very good too.
Yes, he is. So yeah, Stuart Scott. I think Stuart Scott's gonna be tough to beat in this tournament.
He's definitely a forerunner for championship.
Yeah, and it already looks like he's been hit with a shovel. So
definitely,
I don't know if that gives him an advantage or not. And then we have Michael Wilbon versus Doug Gottlieb. Oh, Doug Gottlieb, he's my arch nemesis. I can't stand Doug Gottlieb.
He's like little Dan Patrick to me.
See, I wouldn't even give him that much credit. He's just, I cannot stand him. And the worst thing is he never misses an opportunity to take a shot at the NHL or hockey.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
And listen, I don't care if you don't like hockey. Just keep it out of your mouth. You know, don't talk about it. I don't need to hear some basketball punk talk about hockey and put it down. You know, I don't need to hear it. You know,
you got the punk part right.
Oh, he's a little weasel, and all just because he played. Where did he play college basketball? Like Oklahoma State or somewhere like that, or do you know?
I think it was Texas Christian.
Listen, I can barely walk across the room. I seldom get out of a chair, but I bet you right now I could beat Doug Gottlieb one-on-one.
Oh,
I haven't picked up a basketball in probably 15 years, and I could beat Doug Gottlieb one-on-one right now today.
But aren't you 4'9"?
No, I've actually grown quite a bit.
Okay, all right.
So I'm drinking fortified gin now.
Oh, okay. All right. The clear.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I like to call it, the clear. Then we got Mike Golick versus Dana Jacobson. Dana, of course, is one of the co-hosts of Cold Pizza.
Right.
And
also
Mike Golick,
a Wings fan, by the way.
Yeah, she is from Detroit, so...
yeah, I mean, right there, that tells you pretty much how that's going to go.
And that doesn't bode well for Miss Jacobson.
No, not even a little.
And last matchup of the John Bucci Cross bracket in the first round is Lee Corso versus Mike Tarico.
That's another good matchup. Here's what I find fascinating. With Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit on that College Game Day, who's watching? Like, who wants to subject themselves to that every week? Where are the ratings coming from? Their family? I don't know.
Well, you got to feel bad for Chris Fowler, right? Like, he's the guy sitting in the middle. And,
yeah.
I guess on the far left. And he's got to put up with these characters every week.
Yeah, I mean, Fowler's all right, you know, but...
Yeah, he's just he's a workman, you know. He does the job. You know, he's professional. But, Corso, he just likes to wear different little things on his head every day, you know, or every week.
Oh, that guy's weird. He's very odd.
And Tarico seems like a mild-mannered fellow, but I guess he's got a past, you know what I'm saying? I guess he's been in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, with like Woody Page, Jay Crawford kind of stuff.
No kidding.
Yeah, he seems like a mild-mannered fellow, but
he's always so calm on the golf broadcast.
Yeah, he's a tomcat. Don't want to get him started. All right, so that's the first round of the Who's Now Going to Get Beaten with a Shovel tournament, and I think we have gold right there. I think that's going to be a great recurring feature for LCS hockey.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the second round pans out. We're going to have some matchups, I think.
Yeah, of course, readers can vote. Just visit the website, lcshockey.com, and you can vote. And we'll post the first-round results next Sunday, July 22nd. And it looks like we're running out of show already there, buddy. So we won't even get into anything else, I don't think. Any other parting thoughts you'd like to share with our listeners?
I don't know. I'm more curious on to, know whether or not you guys validate.
No, we do not. Sorry about that.
All right.
But, so this is the first LCS hockey radio show, but I don't know what we're going to do in future shows. We'll talk classic TV, movies, stuff like that. Maybe we'll talk hockey every once in a while. I don't know. Any other ideas you'd like to do on future shows?
I like pornography.
All right, maybe we'll work some of that in too. I really don't know. But well, I'd like to thank you, Jerry, for being the first guest on LCS Hockey.
I'm very honored to be here, and I'll be grateful in the future if you consider me for some airtime here.
Yeah, well, I don't like to talk to anyone else, so I'm guessing we'll just talk every week then.
Oh, okay. Nice. I'm part of the show now all of a sudden.
All right, then, buddy. Well, I'll talk to you later, and thanks to everyone for listening to the show, and we'll be back again. All right. Bye.